Hello, I'm Rose,
And Wes.
and we are delighted to say how much we appreciate and love the Guilford College Bryan series. We've been subscribers for many years. We missed out on about the first two, maybe three seasons. And then somehow we read about Bishop Tutu, Sidney Portier, and several other speakers. And we thought, how did we miss that? How did we not know about it? We haven't been reading the paper or something. So anyway, we subscribed, and we wouldn't miss a Bryan series, whether it's at Dana Auditorium, which it used to be, I think. Uh, I can't even remember now because we've changed so much. And in the Coliseum, we were for a while. And then we were looking forward last spring to be at the Tanger Center. And wouldn't you know, as we all know now, the pandemic hit. But we've been able to go virtually. And so it doesn't matter what we look like most of the time when we can watch the Bryan series, and we wouldn't miss it. We've had some favorites, of course. Uh, Almost everyone becomes a favorite. Uh, it's never been disappointing to us, uh, anyone we've been to, but we were looking back through our folder just to go through some of the years. And so, Wes, you want to talk about some of your favorites?
Well, one was Yo Yo Ma. I found him so incredibly personable, as well as being a fantastic musician. And let's see, I'm of course, I happen to like Alan Alda anyway, so that you get these really incredible people. And we even saw Vice President Biden at the time. And anyway, I can't think of anything that was a disappointment or even close to it. They're always really good. And the time for interaction afterward is always really quite good.
We've been exposed to a lot of different moderators during the question and answer time. And that's always a little bit different, always enjoyable. Like the most recent one with Sally Field, another person that we would love to hear speak, and we did some, was Pat Mitchell, I think. Pat, yeah, um, who's a person that I would have known about and would love to hear more from. So I felt like we got to hear two speakers when really the focus was on Sally Field. But some of my favorites have been Amal Clooney, um, Brandon Stanton. May not pronounce his name right. Young photographer, humanitarian, marvelous stories about people who touch our lives. To digress, I think this one coming up next week that'll be virtual with Paul Nicklin, who is also a photographer. And I don't know much about him, but I learn about people because of the Bryan series, if they weren't as famous in terms of my knowledge about them. Let's see, who else? Diana Nyad was an example of somebody that I didn't know who she was. And she was one of the very best speakers that I've heard in a long, long time, anywhere. So that was great. Doris Kearns Goodwin, marvelous historian. John Meacham, another historian. I mean, the list just goes on and on. I'm amazed at the quality of speakers. And again, we wouldn't miss it.
We wouldn't miss it. Wouldn't miss
We're
one.
so thankful for Joe Bryan and the underwriting of so much of this that his foundation has done. So, you know, we are real fans of
That's right.
Guilford College Bryan series.
Amen.